tonight the Rams are hosting a game, and they're in a different spot, even though it's the same geographical space. The Los Angeles Rams are currently 15th in the NFC, 1-5, the only team that is below them that would actually pick higher than them in a draft in which they don't have a draft choice in the first round is the Chicago Bears at 3-10. The Rams are 3-9, and the reasons for it are numerous. Aaron Donald's not playing tonight; he's ruled out tonight. Cooper Kupp is recovering from ankle surgery. Who knows when we're going to see Matthew Stafford again? He's out with a spinal cord contusion. The quarterback for the team tonight may be the backup, who's been there for a couple of years, John Wolford, or it could be the starting quarterback, could be Baker Mayfield, in just the latest twist of a narrative-generating machine called the National Football League, where you can't make stuff up. Number 17 in your program, number 1 in the potential depth chart. Baker Mayfield going tonight against a Raiders team that started their season in this building in a loss to the Los Angeles Chargers. Many losses for the Raiders this year, 7 of them, in which you can point to the game and say, boy, they had that one. Boy, if they only made this play. Boy, if they only made that play. And you could say that about a lot of teams in the National Football League. For the Las Vegas Raiders, though, you could absolutely say that for their first 9 games this year. Last 3, pretty darn good because they've won them all. They have won them all. At least for them last week, they didn't wait to the last second. They actually got it done before it. There was no walk-off win yesterday. Their previous 2 wins in this 3-game win streak were last-second walk-off wins, and the Raiders are now 5-7. They're now 5-7 despite blowing games left and right in which they led by double digits. They're 5-7, and they're just 1 game behind the team that they're playing next, the Patriots. They're just 1 game against the team that they just beat and split their season series with, the Chargers. And there are 4 5-7 teams that take the field in Week 14 with more than just the dumb and dumber chance of we've got, you're saying there's a chance. There's different grades of it, but the Raiders are at the top of that list because they're 5-7 on a 3-game win streak. They're 5-7 with a bullet. And you take a look at their schedule tonight against the Rams and in SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles, where they will have a home field advantage. Any Rams fans who are still sticking with the team and showing up and showing their Ramily spirit, I tip my cap to you. We need more of you folks here in Los Angeles, quite frankly, diehard, live or die sports fans for teams that are just new to the area, and they may be new to the area themselves. But Baker Mayfield, if he starts tonight, hey, Baker, guess what? You're going to have to go silent snap count in your first home start for the Rams because the Raiders fans are going to show up here and they're going to be losing their minds because if they win this game tonight, and it does appear that they should, quite frankly, then they take on the Patriots next week for the right to not only get to 500, but potentially leapfrog the Patriots in the standings at that point. Because even if the Patriots win this game on Monday night against the Arizona Cardinals, we're scheduled to have Buda Baker on the show tomorrow to discuss it, a Raiders win against the Patriots would have a tiebreak for them in the back pocket. They'd have the same 7-7 record. The Raiders would be above the Patriots. And they're in the mix. They're in the mix. The Jets with Mike White are taking on the Buffalo Bills. They have supposedly winnable games the next couple weeks, but I'll tell you why one of them doesn't appear to be as winnable anymore in a second. They can make the 7 seed from 5-7 right now, the Raiders. And then the other team that's on a nice winning streak right now at 5-7 are the Pittsburgh Steelers. Joke all you want, folks. But this Kenny Pickett has got it. You can't say Pickett without it, right? Different spelling. But I like what I'm seeing out of him. And what you're seeing if Deontay Johnson can only catch the football. And, you know, I'm serious. I don't mean to nitpick here, but
a lot of guys have the dropsies.
I mean, defensively, they're getting healthier, and T.J. Watt is out there, and the Steelers just came up with big wins on a Monday night in Indianapolis, and they just beat the Atlanta Falcons, who are making a change at quarterback, by the way. And then now they're home against the Baltimore Ravens. You throw those records out usually when this happens. Tyler Huntley, who is very good as a backup quarterback, he's coming in. And this is a winnable game for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Mm-hmm. And if they win this one, then they go to Carolina next. Now, I know you can't circle Carolina at home in the Steve Wilkes administration. They've actually won their games there.
True.
But those are 2 games. And by the way, if they win these 2 games and get to 500, and the scenario I just painted for the Raiders, and they get to 500, guess who play each other on Christmas Eve? By the way, on NFL Network for the 50th anniversary, 50th celebration of the Immaculate Reception game. I'll be calling that game with my NFL Game Day compadre group. It's possible both teams are 7-7, and the winner of that game goes to 8-7 with a real shot to make the playoffs. Steelers are at Baltimore and then home for Cleveland after that. Cleveland's got a shot. They do. Holy elf on a 50-yard line, Batman, just in time for the Christmas. The elf on the 50.
I thought you were going to be like, holy elf on Jay Felly's butt.
Hindquarters.
No.
Oh.
We're leaving him and his ink out.
Well, let's wait till hour 3 when he's here.
A football conversation, sir. Although with Deshaun Watson, it's always more than a football conversation.
Indeed.
Back after a 700-day absence, the as I said on NFL Game Day morning, the rusty in his life for the previous 700 days was Harden, the defense lawyer who is still working hard because there's still 2 cases outstanding. And the whole thing with Watson saying that I can't talk about it because it's a problem legally. And then all the stories came out from the NFL information group that his clinical help is telling him not to talk about it. So which one is it? Is it the legal? Is it the clinical? I'd love to know at some point. But he sure did look rusty, not Harden, out there against Houston. But a win's a win. The defense was all over Kyle Allen. And this week they take on Joe Burrow. Make this make sense. Joe Burrow's never lost to the Chiefs, and he's never beaten the Browns. He's yet to beat the Browns. And so it's, if you see Burrow was asked this week saying, you know, what is it about? What's different about the Browns? And his answer was, the Browns have Myles Garrett. No one else has him. That's a difference.
Okay.
That's a difference.
True.
Yeah.
That's a difference.
Yeah.
So let's just say the Browns continue their magic over Joe Burrow here. And then they're against Baltimore. That's a Saturday afternoon game. I'm calling that one in Cleveland. I'm going to see the elf with my own 2 eyes, by the way.
Look at you.
Those are Kurt Warner and I are calling that game on NFL Network, 4:30 p.m. Eastern kick. Is it possible the Browns go for a 500 record then? Because if that happens, then Deshaun Watson will have won 3 in a row since coming back. And then they're home for New Orleans, at Washington, at Pittsburgh. Holy crap. It's not over for the Browns. It is not over. Now, look, in the AFC, if the Jets keep winning football games, that's a problem for them because the Jets are currently 2 games in front and have a tiebreak in their back pocket on the Steelers and the Browns. How wild would that be, by the way, if their comeback win over the Browns? Remember that? When they didn't cover Corey Davis?
Right.
And the Jets came back from 2 scores down with 2 minutes to onside kick. The whole thing happened.
Flacco throwing bombs.
Right? That would prevent the Browns from getting into the playoffs. Oof. And then, of course, the Jets, that was the game that they circled on, against the Pittsburgh Steelers for Zach Wilson to come back. And guess what? Zach's no longer the quarterback there. But the Jets have a win in their back pocket on this front. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.